best rock and roll is, you know, I mean, it was always the old thing when, you know, the blues gave a baby and they called it rock and roll. And, you know, I think that's always been the, you know, the flavour, you know, and I think if all the good rock and roll you hear, it's all got that blues element in it, you know. I mean, I'm not a fan of sort of just, you know, a couple of riffs sort of slapped together and somebody says, you know, hey, that's rock, you know. Well, to me, it's got to have, I like that little bit of blues, you know. If you took us as individuals, I don't think we were even exceptional. But when you put us in that little unit together, you know, that's when we start to cook. And, you know, I think that's half the thing, you know. And if you get, you know, like when you get the right element to cook, you know, like whether it be the studio or on stage, you know, if you got that right environment, you're laughing. Malcolm and myself, when we started getting the ideas together and we decided what, you know, what we should look for in a producer, you know, he was the first one that we said, hey, you know, why should we go, you know, we knew what we wanted. We wanted a, you know, a rock and roll album, and we thought, well, hell, you know, George knows as good as anyone, and he's rock and roll, and we don't have to get into that. If you're working with somebody you never worked before, half your battle is showing them who you are, what you are, and how you want to go about doing it. 2 youngs in a room's a brawl, 3's a friggin' war.
But, you know, George was, he's like your buddy and your favourite uncle, you know. If you've got a problem, you can see him. And he's great. He sits there, you know, in the studio, and he just lets things happen. And he guides it in his own gentle way, you know. He's not that kind, again, to cause anything. It was the best 3 months I've ever had. And
probably working with George more than anyone, you know, because I know how he is, you know. I mean, I've seen him, you know. He said to me, he said, okay, Ang, you've got an hour and a bit and we want all those guitar solos done, so, you know, let's go. You know? And Malcolm says, George, you can't do that. You know, you've got to give Angus some space. He says, can you get them done by tonight, you know. So,
yeah, he's a darling.
We felt, well, you know, it had a good thing about it. It was a bit different, you know, and, you know, it's something to, I think even when I think back of it, people like, you see like Presley and Little Richard and the Jaggers and all of that, you know, they've all got these enormous lips, you know what I mean? You know, and there's a pout, you know, the Bridget Bardot pouty thing, you know. And even I've got to try it in that Highway to Hell. I'm sort of sticking my big old lips up. We didn't want to sort of put ourselves under the gun and say, hey, you've got to finish this record because you're going to be touring then and stuff, you know. And a lot of that, in the past when we've done that, you feel under pressure. And this time we really wanted to be able to take our time, get it right, be happy, everyone, you know, happy with the result and satisfied, and then we would take it to the next step, you know, and we've done this now, so the next step probably for us is at some point we'll tour, you know, but we haven't sort of penciled in dates or stuff, you know. We wanted to do this and go put it out there and see how it was, you know, see what, you know, if people were into it or not.